About 1 hour ago, I was listening to the radio here in Dublin, and there was a man on. He was a representative or speaker for an organisation, and I think I've got this name right, the Association of Asylum Seekers in Ireland. He was a spokesperson. And you'll be greatly surprised by this, I know, but he was complaining about Ireland being a systemically racist country. Now, the example he was giving was the difference between the treatment of Ukrainian refugees in Ireland and refugees from Africa. Now, I don't like people who come to Ireland and then say it is racist. If you think Ireland is racist, then don't stay here. Go back where you came from. Nobody asked you to come here. There's also the question, of course, why would someone go to a country knowing it was racist? Surely every black person in Africa understands now that all white countries are racist. So why emigrate to white countries? Now, I can't stand this sort of thing. I really can't. You know, you had a lot of Irish people who went to England in the 50s, 60s and so on. And they talked about how badly they were treated. You know, nobody forces anyone to emigrate to England. But and I lived there and I was treated very well. But I cannot stand any of this stuff. It makes me sick. And there's all variations on this theme. For instance, about a year ago, we had an Irish footballer, apparently well known, very successful, earning big money. He was playing football, an English game, and he went to England to play this game. And he made a lot of English money playing this game. But then he decided that he did not want to wear the poppy. He suddenly became very patriotic Irish when it came to the poppy. Now, I have a very simple attitude to people like that. You took the money. If you take the money, then shut your mouth and wear the poppy and show respect for the country you're in. Now, of course, one of the reasons this guy did this was that he knew the English wouldn't just sack him and tell him to go to hell. Another thing about this guy, by the way, he's very, very woke. You know, he's one of those patriots who thinks the replacement of the Irish population is wonderful and that all Irish people should be barred from free speech, etc., etc. Now, I cannot express how disgusting I find such people. You know, no matter who you are, anywhere in the world, you go to a country, you're taking the money, then shut your mouth and show respect. Simple as that. Now, as you may know, if you watch this channel, I'm a huge fan of women's boxing. And about a month ago, we had the biggest fight in the history of women's boxing. And arguably the best was it. Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's a thriller. Absolutely wonderful. Now, Serrano, great boxer. And a very admirable woman. Very impressive woman. And she's done well in life. And she's put a lot of hard work into it. But, you see, she was born in Puerto Rico. She left there when she was a few months old. Her family left. Every time she gets into the ring, she's got her Puerto Rican flags. And she's always talking about her culture, her people. Well, Amanda, if you're watching this, If Puerto Rico, if it's so bloody marvellous, why don't you go back home there? Why don't you build a boxing career there? You know, I really cannot stand these people. I cannot stand them. They make me sick. And I can see no good side to this. I think it's good if you go to a country and you're earning your living there, you respect the country, the culture. I think that's a win-win situation. I think everyone wins that way. But even Katie Taylor now. Katie Taylor's living in America now about 5 years. She's built her career in America, but she's still touting the Irish flag. You know, I would say to Katie Taylor, you know, if you're really proud of the Irish flag, we've got lots of them in Ireland. You know, why don't you do your fighting from Ireland? But I'm repeating myself as I always do, but all of this type of thing, it sickens me. I mean, the idea of going to a country like this footballer, the idea of going to a country, earning a fortune playing football, having fans cheer you all the time, and then you say, oh no, I'm not going to wear your poppy. I mean, I think he's a creep. I think he's an absolute creep, and I think he's a disgrace to Ireland to behave like that. This is just by way of rant. And as usual, every time I go to make these videos, I forget half the things I was going to say, and that's what's happening yet again. So, there, my mind, excuse me, this is really terrible. My mind really goes blank. And I was wondering, it might be Alzheimer's, but I don't think it is. I think it's just old age. But it's what time is it? It's about 7 o'clock. It's just gone 7 o'clock here in Ireland, sitting in my room, and when I finish making this video, I'm going to put on some music. I've got a nice hi-fi system. I've got some very nice records. I'll listen to those, have a cup of coffee, and then I'll watch the Katie Taylor Amanda Serrano fight for about the 20th time. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's very good. But yes, I mean, people coming to Ireland and calling it racist. And of course, that creates racism where it never existed. You know, if you went to the least racist country, a totally non-racist country in the world, and you call them racist, you know, that's going to make people racist. But anyhow, take care.